Larry, and I'm speaking for myself, my brother. Um, to me, I see him, and I always have, being a little girl. When I was 12, he passed away when I was 12. But as a little girl, and as now, I've always seen him as kind of like a gentle giant. Larry was a very good man. He was real kind, smart, always reading. Larry, you never see Larry without a book. And then when he got into the activism part, he was always carrying a briefcase then. And to me, his kindness was he was more or less a protector because I was kind of a shy, picked on kid, and he not only protected me but taught me how to defend myself, and taught me a lot. By the time I started school when I was 5, and when I was 4, probably maybe even younger, because I remember a lot. I wrote cursive because Larry, always teaching me, and I found myself. The more I think about this, I always wait on Larry. Larry was like my comfort zone because there is so much trauma. My parents never there and different things happening that I look forward to Larry coming home. So, and it was always like that till the last time I seen him, which is the last Christmas of '72, and I remember waiting for him then. But that's what he was to me. Now, do you want to know about the community? Back then, as I said, I was young. I didn't know much, but as I got older and after this happened, I realized that Larry, uh, it just touched his heart. We're from I have there's 7 of us in this family, 7 children. My mom and dad. My mom is Austrian. My dad is Navajo, and we lived in Silver City. And when we moved to Gallup, I was, 7 years old. Larry must have been, I don't know, a teenager because he was his first year of high school. But we basically were raised with the Mexican people, and I don't think we really understood what we were. And when he got to Gallup, I think it touched Larry. My dad used to say this. Larry's heart got touched by seeing the Navajos on the street, the alcohol problem. And so that's where Larry started. He wanted to help them. And when he seen that there was a Navajo Inn, I'm going to give you some history of it. The Navajo Inn, it was, I think, 75 feet from the Navajo reservation. And this bar, I remember getting in Larry's briefcase. And I get in trouble for that. He'd tell me to stay out of there. But the pictures, he had a lot of Polaroids of the drunks just laying on in the dirt on the parking lot. And I mean, they'd be people like laying under the tire, and they'd get run over, and they wouldn't find him for a few days. They'd leave him there. Every night, people were getting run over. From David's book, I learned a lot. That. And by the way, David, it was great the way you portrayed all this. But people walking into that bar, just stepping over people passed out. It's just unbelievable. But that was happening. And the main thing was this bar was owned by 3 so-called pillars of the community. And one of them was Emmett Garcia, which was the mayor of Gallup. And he just got appointed board of regents to the UNM, I believe, and which was totally wrong. He's owning this bar, and he's going to be making decisions for UNM, probably, important decisions. And if I believe he wanted to open a treatment center in Gallup, and so that's totally against. You want an alcohol treatment center, but you own this bar. It was just totally hypocritical. And Larry seen that, and all he wanted, where I thought until David's book, I thought he wanted to close the bar down, but I found out through David's research that he just wanted to move it. That makes it even worse. It wasn't like he was trying to take away their profit, but they just didn't listen to him. I remember seeing Larry on the news right before Christmas, and he was in Santa Fe talking talking about what was going on with Emmett Garcia, and they couldn't appoint him on the Board of Regents. And I remember they let him speak, and they just ignored him after that. It was like he wasn't even there. And so Larry, he I believe that he believed he had no other option. He wanted to get the attention. He wanted to help these people. And I really believe even if they were Navajo or not Navajo, if there was a bar like this, he would have wanted it closed. I mean, moved. Don't matter what nationality you are, he would have wanted to help these people. that was just Larry. He was kind and wanted to help. But so that's why this kind of turned into that situation where he didn't have a car. He was a student at UNM. This was 1973. Um, and he kidnapped Dalbert Rudy, I believe, in Albuquerque to get a ride to Gallup. And that story was really interesting because I've always wondered about that last ride, what Larry said, what he did. I've always wanted to know. And David caught a lot of that. But and I've always known that he kind of changed his mind. I don't know where I heard that from, but that he that Dalbert Rudy more or less believed what Larry was doing. He thought it was right. And for a Republican doing that, that's just like a miracle right there. But anyways, so Larry feeling, like nowhere to go. And I really don't know much about Robert, the guy he took with him. All I know is that he met him like 3 days before, or that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. But he came with him, and they went to the mayor's office, and they're what they were going to do, they were going to show people they had nothing to be scared of with this man. And they were going to take him to a place. Some people say the Indian Center, which was 2 blocks away from the where this mayor was at in his office, or up to the mountains, until just to hold him until they caught his attention, caught the people's attention, which they were going to get, no matter what this mayor said. But Larry, of course, he went in there. The chief of police was there, and I think a judge, and they immediately, he was caught. His plan wasn't going to work. And when he started going down towards the Indian Center, a train came because the Indian Center was right by where the trains are, and which is kind of crazy. But my mom, by the Indian Center was the welfare office, and my mom was there this time. My mom was down there, and I think this was about 4 o'clock because I think this all happened at 4:30. But I don't know if this was planned either. But Larry went into a sporting goods store, and of course there's lots of guns there and stuff. But that's when the shootout happened, and from there, what I know and what I really believe is the mayor jumped through the front window to escape, and then they were surrendering. Larry was shot already once, I'm pretty sure, and but they were coming out. Robert came out, and when Larry was coming out, 2 cops went in, and Larry they killed him. Some say that when he was walking out, they shot him from the top of his head when he was coming out, but I believe more that they went in and killed him because they dragged him out. I've done some investigating by myself, and there's this banker. He told me that he was there, and he's the one that went with the mayor to the hospital. So he more or less seen Larry sitting there, and they pulled him out, dragged him out. And then it was just devastating because my sister Najani ran down when we found out when they called the house. Najani ran down there and covered up Larry because they were down there posing, taking pictures with him, and which is just awful. A newspaper shouldn't do that. A newspaper should not be celebrating someone's death by putting their bloody body on the front page. And the cops also with their guns, their rifles, holding them all proud. But it was just devastating. And from there, the community, a lot of people believed in what Larry was doing. Just the fact that he had the guts to do that, to stand up alone, which I believe took a lot. He was just a very brave, courageous man. And he just wanted to help people. That's the bottom line. He wanted to save people's lives. And they weren't going to let him do it because they wanted to profit. And that's the story. And his legacy to me is he's a hero. I got stuck on that word martyr, and I still don't understand that yet. But I know that Larry, to me, is just a hero. I like that word better because he and I miss him. I know if Larry lived, he'd probably be who knows, the Navajo Nation president. You know, he knew German. Larry was the only one out of all of us that knew the languages because my mom, I guess, didn't know English, but he knew German, and I remember him learning Navajo. You know, when I was little, you know, little words here and there, but just real smart and loved me. You know, after the divorce, my parents got divorced in '72, and from there, it kind of that was the last time us seven were all together at the courthouse when they got divorced. After that, I see Larry as being the glue to it, to the family, to the siblings. And when Larry died, we just kind of scattered. You know, it was over. But we all love him. I know that. That's all I could speak for them is that I know they all love him, and he loved me. And sorry, I get off track sometimes, and I get kind of sad still.